Hi, Tim here from World of Sleuths with a reading update and TBR. I know it's been almost a month since I made my last video, so I decided for this one I'm going to do it how I'm do it a little differently. For one thing, I've got two books done since the last video, which because of one was the reading was slow and stuff, and with my health problems and stuff. So I decided I'm going to read two books at a time, because when one book's going slow, I can switch over to the other. See, I'll be reading an ebook along with a physical book. So that's one of the bigger changes I'm making, because I tried it yesterday and I was doing real good with that. So with that said, let me start showing you what I finished, what I'm currently reading, and then my TBR. The TBR is not for only August, it will go beyond that. I mean, not only for September, it will go beyond that, I know, because my TBR, I'll have 5 physical books and 5 ebooks in it. And I'm not that fast of reader. Okay, to start off with, there's 2 books I finished. Time to Kill by John Grisham. It takes place in Mississippi in the 1980s, where a 10-year-old black girl is raped by a couple of rednecks, I'll put it that way. Like one's a known drug dealer and his friend. Well, anyway, and they raped her multiple times, and it just got so hard on her father that he ended up killing those 2 rednecks. And this is the book's mainly is talking about leading up to the trial and the trial. And I thought it was a pretty good book. I gave it 6 arrows or 5 stars. The other book I finished, it went slow. I just finished it just the other day. I'd been reading it since I finished Time to Kill closer to the beginning of the month. So around 3 weeks. And that is Fall of Man in Wilmslow by David Lagerkrantz. I had gotten it because by the blurbs I saw, it mainly talked about the death of Alan Turing. With me having taken plenty of computer courses in college, since I was a computer science major, and also in the Air Force. And after I was computer maintenance, and so I know of Alan Turing. He's the name in the pioneers of computers. But the thing that I didn't care about this book was, okay, it talks about how he was a homosexual, and they keep going on and on and on about homosexuality. And this is fiction. It's like crime fiction or detective fiction, but the detectives investigating the death of Alan Turing, and it did get better towards the end, but then after it got to the good stuff, all of a sudden that about the homosexuality is brought back in. So I gave that book a rating of 3 arrows or 3 stars. If it wasn't those towards the last quarter of the book, that stuff, I would have probably given it more like a 2 star. Okay, what I'm reading now, I'm currently reading London Bridges by James Patterson. two of his the two antagonists from some of his former earlier books in this series returned. That's the Weasel and the Wolf both returned, and of course after Alex Cross and stuff. And the other book I'm reading is last book in the public domain of the Rick Brant series. It's The Flying Stingaree by Harold L. Goodwin, where Rick and his friend Scotty take Rick's houseboat down to visit a friend down on who has a cabin down near Chesapeake Bay area and stuff, and they see stingrays and stuff, and at night they thought they saw like a flying stingray flying from the water, flying stingray, or the stingaree flying out of the water. And I haven't gone too far into it yet. And I should be done with these like tomorrow or Thursday, and so after that, to finish off the month, I'll be reading another ebook. It's Constance Dunlap by Arthur B. Reeve. This is third book in the Craig Kennedy series, and I figure I should be able to get that done in a couple days or quicker. Okay, that one I'm not counting as a 5 for each of the other sort of TBR, because first of all, I'll go through the physical books in my TBR. The first one is Clear and Present Danger by Tom Clancy. It's in that Jack Ryan series. I'm just going by if I've read the books before them in the series within the last 2.5, 3 years. I've been a member of Goodreads for 2.5 years now. If I've read the ones before them, since I started that, I'm not going back to them. I've read Clear and Present Danger before. It's been quite a while ago. And then I'll be to the ones I haven't read yet in the series. The next one is The Enemy Within. It's by Larry Bond. Larry Bond, I don't even know what this one is about. The Clear and Present Danger, it takes place in the war with the Colombian warlords and stuff, or with drug cartels. The Enemy Within by Larry Bond, I don't know what it's really about, but Larry Bond co-wrote the Sum of All Fears, or wait, not the Sum of All Fears, I mean Red Storm Rising, with Tom Clancy. Then after that is End of Enemies by Grant Blackwood. He co-wrote some of the Jack Ryan books with Tom Clancy, and I don't really know what it's about. After that is another reread for me is The Lieutenants by W.E.B. Griffin. This is the first book in the Brotherhood of War series. The Brotherhood of War series follows the careers of, like, I can't remember, like 4 or 5 officers in the army from towards the end of World War II on through like the 80s or something like that, and the 80s or 90s, and I didn't quite finish that full series, but I'm starting to reread it again. And the last physical book is The Bancroft Strategy by Robert Ludlum. And I'm not really sure what that's about, but I should tell you, I know, like in the last video I told you how haven't had room on my shelf, so I'm going to read more physical books. So what I did for deciding on the first 5 books here is I watched all my videos for the first year of that I listened on YouTube and wrote them down, and then I made a list of them up and for going in series order and stuff, and for a series going in the order of series, and some of them on the list will be library books, or I'll have to find some books. Other than that, I'm pretty much doing a ban on buying any more books until I get these down. That's just for physical books. I'm going to be doing the same thing eventually for my ebooks of this list like this. Okay, so the ebooks, after Constance Dunlap, I'll be reading The Return of Tarzan by Edgar Rice Burroughs. That's the second book in the Tarzan series. That's it's in the public domain. Okay, then after that will be March into Hell by MP McDonald. That's a second book in the Jack Taylor series. And that's in the I'm reading it out of the MP McDonald omnibus. Then, like I said, I was thinking about reading The Last of the Mohicans. Well, that's on my TBR to read after March into Hell by Jens Fenimore Cooper. And after that, I decided I'm going to read out the Wizard of Oz books in the Wizard of Oz series that are in the public domain. I have it in this set by that are all the public domain books in the public domain, except for like the Royal Book of Oz, which I can download off of Project Gutenberg. And then after that, I'll read the Dream Doctor by Arthur B. Reeve, the next one in the Craig Kennedy series. So this will probably take me more than a month to finish all those, but that's my plans for reading over the next for a while. And that's all I have for this time. I don't know how long it will be before my next video. I might do it before I'm done reading all these books. You probably will, like within the next month. So until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.